Buonasera. Sera.
Hello, I'm Justin Rydzel, and this is The Way He Saw It, an exploration of Michelangelo Antonioni's visual style. Watching an Antonioni film is different than watching any other director because he's concerned with different things. It seems odd that characters would take a backseat to forms and shapes in a non-experimental film, but that's exactly what happens in both La Ventura and Red Desert. They ignore many Hollywood conventions and end up telling a much more vibrant and cinematic visual story because of it. One thing that makes Antonioni's work unique is his absence of covered shots. You won't find cutting back and forth between shot reverse shots and a wide angle. In this clip from Star Wars, Lucas uses 5 camera setups and returns to almost every shot at least once before the scene is over. Now there's nothing wrong with films that do this, but running with standard convention robs the film of having its own unique cinematic identity. You know, besides being one of the most beloved films of all time.
Take it away!
Contrast that with the scene from La Ventura. The scene's a whopping 40 seconds of this one static medium long shot. I've actually sped it up for the purposes of this video. The lack of edits is characteristic of Antonioni's work, and each of his shots stands in its own moment, uninterrupted by edits. Before you go thinking that his cinematography will make for boring scenes, just watch what he does with camera movement. Rather than place cuts, Antonioni's camera moves to new framings in a smooth, machinic fashion. Sometimes these recompositions can be subtle, and other times they can call much more attention to themselves. The point is, the camera keeps moving, so he doesn't need edits to prevent his shots from looking stagnant or uncinematic. He even uses the style in different ways. He can establish a setting, highlight a drama, show something about a character, or even make us present in the world. Beyond the camera, Antonioni's actors never stop moving either. They often work to make new frame compositions all by themselves. Blocking can range from organized chaos to simple, yet just entirely erratic. Watch as this next actress moves across the set, creating 3 distinct frame compositions along the way. Here's the second. And last, she moves over along the set to the third.
Io? Ma Goffredo, sei matto?
All of this movement is only possible because Antonioni gives his actors plenty of frame to work with. Convention states that the most intense or dramatic moments take place in close-up, but often Antonioni does the exact opposite and moves to a wide shot. There's something about a wide angle that exposes the harsh reality of a situation in a nakedness a close-up just cannot achieve. Whether it's searching desperately for a missing lover, meeting someone in distress, or realizing that you're alone and surrounded, Antonioni manages to pack a ton of drama in from a distance.
Chercher des compromis avec la production, disons. Je serais riche à ce moment-là. Au contraire, je ne suis pas riche. J'ai cherché de faire le film que j'avais envie de faire, très sincèrement, et c'est tout.
As a kid, Antonioni was a painter of landscapes that seldomly contained people, and it's clear that his interest in shapes and color have translated to his films. It's not uncommon for narrative to be pushed aside for the moment in favor of images framed to look like moving paintings, be it rock formations, some polluted ponds, or even just some roadside architecture. If Antonioni deems it interesting, he'll take a sometimes cinematically unusual amount of time to show it to you. Here, the camera's gaze abandons the narrative mid-scene as it wanders off to trace the outline of a pipe, a directorial choice that may seem like a waste of screen time to some, but not Antonioni and his concern with shapes. As we reach the end, the camera returns seamlessly to the characters and the narrative continues.
Arrivederci.
These techniques may not all be conventionally cinematic, but they work and make watching an Antonioni film different from watching anything else. Though he may have a style all to himself, that's not to say his cinematography flat out ignores traditional principles. Antonioni utilizes the full space of a frame by often using his images to visually divide the frame into quadrants or bisect it into two halves. These techniques keep your eyes moving around a frame and work to ensure his films have a variety of compositions packed with visual storytelling and intrigue. In one of his more surprising uses of manipulating film space, Antonioni tricks the audience with what appears to be an eyeline match to the hand of Juliana's nanny. After a few moments of suspense, the camera pans up to reveal another character entirely. A wider shot to the rest of the room shows that we're not in the same location at all, so not only does Antonioni feature constantly changing space through his camera movement and blocking, but he'll also use film tropes to deceive us into thinking we're in one place when we're really not, just to mess with the audience's perception and assumptions.
Come materiale e come uomini. Varga Buenos Aires, ma va bene lo stesso.
Although Antonioni avoids the Hollywood standards of shot reverse shot and dramatic close-ups that by now we're all programmed to read as cinematic, his images are actually more powerful because of it, and make for better films.
Non è vero, ti amo.